why would racism exist in the creative music field?
Why? Because human nature is what it is. And that's, let's say, a doorway to the experience of relativism, relativity, and ignorance, and then absolutism, in a sense, and realization, like absolute realization. And to use concepts. It might be helpful to some. It may be ridiculous to others. Be that as it may,
It would seem that a field like this would be subject to, considerations.
A field like what? What field?
Let's say music, creative music. That merit alone would matter. Quality of creation would be the only thing to matter.
To who?
To those involved in it, participants.
Are we talking humans?
Well, yes.
Humans see themselves.
Yeah.
They project themselves on each other. See? Because they believe themselves to be the self of, let's say, limitation. See? Racism is anti-Christianity. In a sense. In terms of the heart of Christianity is forgiveness. Unqualified forgiveness. But at the same time, wisdom.
Would you call racism a form of fear?
It's really a form of ignorance. See? Colorblindness. Being colored, right? In your way of viewing, you're colored. See? And we want to make sure we enter not the colored view of things in terms of just a rainbow colored. We need a clear light view of things. See? That the heart is what matters, not the face. Anyone who's into face is a disgrace if it's just face. They have to face the reality that we are more than face. And if you don't know you're more than face or skin, you're really in darkness, right? Truly in darkness. You heard nothing of Jesus, nothing. You heard nothing from the heart of anyone. Yeah. Talking about radical native wisdom in the form of Christianity and other traditions. It's common native knowledge.
Are natives less subject to racist tendencies than...
No, humans are humans, natives. But when I speak of wise natives, awakened natives, see? Conscious, universal natives, loving natives, wisdom, compassion natives. Natives who understand the nature of the cosmos and understand the, let's say, the paradoxes of creation and destruction as the same thing. Creation is only creation as long as it destroys something, changes things. Old forms, old ideas, old sounds, old thoughts, old words, and so on. So the creative is this kind of magnificent sort of ongoing renewal burn process. See? That's how it is. Yeah. It's colorless. It's color blind. It's not about color. See? If I go back to my ancestors, when I was a child, they say, oh, when you play your guitar, do you close your eyes? Don't forget to close your eyes and hear what they give you. See? Listen with your eyes closed. Keep your ears open, close your eyes. Your ears open. See what they give you. See what you hear that's given to you. From within and thus beyond yourself. Beyond what is before you as an appearance. See? True to source.
If racism is ignorance, what type of knowledge or information will cure it?
Compassion. But it's not everybody else's compassion. The racist needs to be broken into compassion. Beyond anger. I mean, beyond just human beast nature. See?
of human nature is the heart too, isn't it?
Well, there are two hearts.
Oh.
The one that can be broken and thus used to be angry about, or the one that can be opened, see, and forgive everyone about. So you have the heart of the Messiah, right? And that's everybody who loves is the Messiah. Because love is the Messiah, not anyone in terms of their color, but love is the Messiah. That's the demonstration. See, that's the wisdom of the ancients. Love is the Savior. Only love saves. So all these acts of destruction against one another are part of the, reason why Jesus had to be born and be sacrificed. See? As an example of his willing giving, willing self-sacrifice.
How much of racism is really just clashes of cultures as opposed to
It's all the same, politics. Right? Politics. And that's normal. And that's animal politics. And it's normal, so it can be healthy. It needs to be worked with. So we have the United Nations here as some kind of ultimate testament of wisdom, potentially, for all beings in all countries come together and find some common ground, some common sort of sharing, so as to advance the cause of humanity from poverty to, let's say, wealth. But we have to have spiritual wealth to begin with, otherwise it's more of the same. And then warfare as a form of resolution. For spiritually, let's say, progressing beings, warfare is not an option. It is no option. But it happens, so it is not an option. So, but you have to defend yourself, so it becomes a necessary condition to deal with. So, animals and beings have a right to defend themselves. That's the law of nature, that's not a human trip. It's the law of nature. See? But in the process doesn't mean you have to be racist about it. Because actually when you start to see what's really human about the whole thing, then you can start to fall deeper into a state of consciousness that what is common, maybe too many things are then spread as common ground between all beings. See, we have to reach that kind of common sense. We all have to breathe, common. We have to drink water, we have to eat, common. We have to go to the bathroom, common. We have to waste, right? We have to take in, we have influx, outflux, to keep the balance, yin-yang balance. Right? To see that, say, well, we're all on the same planet, means that from a distance we're all the same. Okay? The Creator Mother, like the Father Son, serves everybody without distinction. See, we have to take a lesson from nature. So you can understand what Jesus is talking about relative to the birds and let's say the flowers, and the children. And be open, be vulnerable, see. Be open to growth, spiritual growth. So that you can see where it really is. In terms of your own soul's flight to heaven and true freedom. True freedom now. And we're talking again about the spiritual, so it's really more about whether or not the human race and human beings can attain to a certain kind of heart resonance, let's say with Jesus and similar beings, not just Jesus, we all have relatives who are good peeps, right? Who are kindness, personified, who will do for others. Not what was done to them, they do for others because they know they can do it and it's good to do it because then the reward is in the doing. You feel better when you can give. See? So that's not a religious idea, that's a fact. See? It's not a religious doctrine per se, but it can be applied to religions as well as common sense. In business and common sense in art as well.
Is racism something people are born with, or xenophobia or any of that, or is it strictly...
Oh, it's in the blood, for sure. People have battled for many years. I mean, this is not about the Middle East, this is human nature, and it's also within, let's say, galaxial sort of processes. The differences. And self-interest. So it's basic cosmic, like evolution, not a problem. At some point, it all comes to rest when you understand it and when you let it go and say, well, what's more immediately necessary is peace. What is more immediately necessary for healing the suffering? Peace. If your child is troubled, what is more necessary for the child? To be untroubled, to be detroubled, to be brought to peace. First thing a parent wants when the child is suffering is to bring that child to peace. Back to peace. No doubts. No ands, no ifs about it.